And we're live. I couldn't even wait, dude. I was coming up the elevator. It happened as soon as I came into the building. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay, let me get into meditation before I, oh my God, you to death. I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, light worker. I need that book. Starseed, Earth Angel. I guess the answer's on the back of the card. Okay. Starseed, Earth Angel, Mystic, Medium, Psychic, Witch, Yogi, Guru, Evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger of God, the Lilith reincarnated, the original form of the Dark Goddess and All Goddess, here on another one. And another one. In order to keep up with me, you might have seen what I put in my community page. I was guided to take a trip over to the Buddha's temple. And I don't typically ever get out of my car and do what I did. Not usually. I just drive by and, throw up gang signs. They're not gang signs, it's mantras. And I'm always burning stuff and, I pray and bow and we have a moment. It's like, you stand in line in church to go get the cracker and juice, I guess, the Jesus juice, something like that. But this time I was guided and it was, oh God, am I divinely protected, bitches. I saw it, I had a feeling. It's like, you better be careful. Fucking Lakewood police are out during these times. So I go and I stop at this, it's a very tricky four-way stop right there, don't play around. I stop at the stop and I turn over there and I park next to it. And I throw on my flashers and then I take a picture. I don't see who's watching me do this. And then I turn into the neighborhood, flip around, and I go and I park. Not in the neighborhood that I flipped around in. I decide to go down the street and park across the street. I park right next to a police officer. I have no idea what he's doing, but I'm hella dirty. I'm going to the temple to be cleaned. He sees that, he saw me do this because he's parked looking over this fucking, I don't know what he's up to until it happens. He's looking over this, he's watching this four-way stop, but I don't know that. I come through the stop and then it's like, bam, there he is. And I just park at the first house and get out. He'd already seen me taking pictures of the temple, so I get out with and run over to the temple. While I'm there, the very second I'm crossing the street, this guy didn't hit his brakes, didn't stop, and just blew past me and fucking totally arrested his ass, or totally fucking ticketed his ass right there. I was like, cool, hold that guy down so then when I go to pull off, you ain't looking at my tags. But anyways, it was crazy, and I went and had this, little ordeal with him. While I was there, while I was burning it, the rain started to drop. Big old raindrops. I was like, oh, time to go. It's like I got there just to, to welcome the rain, is what it was. Right? And so as I'm leaving, the rain is like really coming down and I'm like racing from it. I'm in the far west and I live in the east. So I'm like, but I'm not going that fast, obviously, because as soon as I pull into my parking lot, bro, it is an unbelievable lightning and thunderstorm going on outside. Looks like I brought the shit. It was so funny, like me and my magic carpet. Anyways, I sat out there and I enjoyed it and it was quite lovely. And as I came in, my necklace broke. You only day ones will know about this necklace. I got this necklace. It's not a necklace anymore. I have my heart on that particular chain. But when I got this, I bought it at a thrift store, right? Let me tell you the whole story about this fucking trippy ass necklace. I bought it at a thrift store. I was guided to get it. I put it on. I went home that afternoon, which we'd know would be a Saturday because I do the thrift storing on Saturdays. And I went into a nap, right? I think it was, no, because it was a weekday. So whenever this was, it was right when I got this motherfucker. I guess it wasn't a Saturday, because it was a weekday. And I took a nap. And I went into such a deep-ass fucking sleep that I woke up in the middle of the night. Well, it wasn't. I woke up and the fucking alarm said 8 o'clock, and I thought it meant 8 o'clock in the morning. And I come out of my room yelling at the kids, what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't know what happened, bro. I went into a whole fucking, the deepest coma I've ever been in my entire life. Okay, that's just one. That was my first experience with this necklace. Then I was guided to the Kava bar. And that was a whole fucking thing. I drank the fucking Kool-Aid. And I was guided to go up to Black Hawk Casino. And when I was there, this girl, I had just gotten my goddess oracles. And I was sitting there. I always get them blessed. I open up the package right there. You know what I mean? I usually take all my shit to get blessed. Either Red Rocks, Mother Cabrini's, or straight up to the fucking highest mountain, right? And what it is it's they're imbuing their energy into my cards so that I can see them. They're just a pack of cards until that. And that's why I can't be going touching other shit too, because I'm imbuing my energy. But when I do, that's what they'll make me do too, is sometimes they'll just drag me through spiritual stores just to, you know what I mean, to touch it. Just the tip. Shut up, Russ. Get out of my conversation. Always. Anyways, he's the tip of the iceberg as well. Fucking Titanic. Anyway, he's killing our dreams of freedom. That's what I heard. Anyway, so I go up there, and this girl, she grabs my necklace, and she starts getting downloads from her fucking grandma. Literally, bro. Literally, she was having fucking relationship issues, and she got all of these transmissions through this necklace. Now, in the beginning, it had an emblem on it, and I kept running to people of Asian descent, asking them what the fuck the emblem was. I never found the answer. One day, the emblem broke off. I have it in a total different bag in my ritual bag. And after really evaluating the emblem, it was more of an emblem of Egyptian. It was more of an Egyptian emblem than any of them, and that's why none of them... I would walk up to any Asian type person, dude, and be like, do you know what this is? All in their face and shit. And they never knew, but I guess I was really just shining the light in their face, like, you know what I mean? It's like that thing from Men in Black. It's like, look closely. Maybe, in essence. But anyways, that thing came off. And I always wore this as my, the Emerald Tablet. My connection to ancient Egypt. And as I said, the towers and all of that. Ancient Egypt as well as India and all that. So as I came in, after going to worship Buddha, that thing broke off my neck. A lot of people see things that break as omens of something bad. But I get crazy excited. That means we've broken free. That means that it's more enlightening to me than enlightening to me than feathers. Feathers are just, you know what I mean, you're getting your stripes. But when something breaks, it's done. Typically, it's like a pipe that I'm smoking out of, but I'm currently smoking out of a silicone pipe that you can drop it and throw it across the wall and it doesn't break. It's rubber. So that thing's not going to break. There's different times where my jewelry breaks. And that should be very tragic, but to me, I know it as an omen that I've broken free into something new. And we already know that with my Hecate, but it's actually just, you know, confirmations in the outside world. What does that mean? Well, if you think about it, it can't be anything it was before. How am I going to hang it on a necklace now? It no longer can be placed in a necklace. It's no longer worthy, you know what I mean? But it's still powerful. So now the power, you know what I mean? How do I explain this? It's like your life, right? You're built up in this perfect glass dome of whatever you are. I use the example of a vase. You're a beautiful glass vase. Beautiful. But you only serve one purpose as that glass vase. Based on your, you know, creative curves, this is all you're supposed to do. If we break that piece of glass all the way down, and we add a little bit of fire, a little bit of pressure to that shit, we can remold that piece of glass into whatever we want. And the cool thing about a substance like glass is we can keep remolding it under fire and pressure. That's what we are as humans. When you're under pressure, you're under fire, right? And what comes out of it? Diamonds, gold, all the things. And that's what it is, you know, you take something that does have value, but you break it down and make it more valuable. And you can remold it over and over again. It's like Play-Doh, and that's your life. So you're not supposed to be rigid in only one way. Built, you know, just like I'm seeing those little Russian dolls where you pull them out and there's just a bunch of them in there. They all are little. They just get smaller. I don't know what they're called, but anyway, so it was something, but now it's something free and more powerful. And that's it too. What will you do with it now? Now, I'll leave it at the altar. It brought me this far, but it can bring me no further. So it'll stay here with God until God tells me what to do with it next. But in essence, probably not. I'll probably put it in my stone bag in my purse, because that's where I keep all my stones. But that's just how it is I always see that. It's like, you know, when something breaks. I had these ceremonial bowls. That's the last thing that broke. Those broke in Oklahoma. I had specific bowls. It was a little, everybody remembers it. It was a little flower pot. A little tiny one. Like a chia pet flower pot that my son had made in, like, I don't know, 2nd grade. He painted it and stuff. That ended up being my ceremonial bowl. I did all magic out of that thing, and it would break, and I'd still use it. I ended up, you know, using the pieces and putting it together and top it with these other 2 little black oil burning bowls. Those were my, you know, those were my ceremonial working bowls. But finally they shattered and I couldn't use them anymore. So I left them, and that's when I went back to, when I took the ashtray. I always had the ashtray. I just didn't use it for that. And that's where it is. The ashtray is made for an ashtray, but now it's burning, you know what I mean? It's made for burning, you know, substances and stuff like that. It's a Jewish ashtray at that. But now it's burning, you know, I'm doing all my magic and stuff like that. My old way of living had to break into pieces. I was still holding on to it, every piece of it, until it finally completely shattered and I couldn't use it anymore. And I had to force myself to let go of these pieces that I had used since the beginning, that were a part of me and a part of my magic and a part of my development. It's like your college t-shirt, dude. It's like I wore this all the way through. This is how I worked. You're gonna have to work differently now. That's how life is, you know what I mean? Sometimes they're very obvious. You know, you're like, your reality is completely shattering. Sometimes it's just something this simple that you shattered reality. And I have. I've been pushing the limits. Oh look, it came off. The second one came off. Now it is just a little. But I could do more with that. And that's kind of your life, where you break out of your shell. You're still, you know, good to the core. Anyway, so I attached this with Buddha because I was in the Buddha spirit when all of this happened. So let's see. I was going to get his book out. What will you do with it? I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll put it with all of my other sacred stones. This one right here is 600 years old, from Ireland. Goes back with my Morgan. And this one is 6,000 years old. Here's my hag stone for Kalik. All kinds of them, my smoky quartz. Put all the power together. But what it means is it's no longer, you don't no longer need the power outside of you. You've got the power inside of you. In the beginning, I needed all this to feel safe, to feel protected. I needed the reminder that they were with me. You know, when I left Mother Cabrini's on my first adventure, I cried. I knew I was moving. I knew I was leaving, and I cried. Please don't send me out there alone. You're the only thing I feel. And in the sense of, it was the only place that I felt at home. I could run away from all my problems to Mother Cabrini's shrine and to Red Rocks. And no matter what I was going through, I could leave that mountain anew. And I knew I was leaving that mountain, and I wouldn't be able to run to that mountain anymore. And she told me, she's like, we would never leave you. We're going with you. This is just your sacred place. And that's what I realized, you know what I mean? And I took the water and I took her with me on my adventure. And that's the Holy Spirits, bro. Like, down to necromancy, as we're talking about. They live on with you. Talk is riding front seat with me all the time, talking shit. Turn the radio down. Quit talking shit about people. Stop that. Put your feet down. They don't leave you. You just leave the idea of them, but you don't have to. If you keep the idea of them alive, they're very much alive. Truthfully, just don't talk to them in front of people. It makes you look crazy. That's where I'd be like, I can't say, I'd be like, dang, Holy Spirit, that's all I can say. I say it all the time. Oh my God, Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit. And I say that all the time when it's them talking. The spirits are talking to me. That's all I say. If I start laughing or something comes, and it's happening all the time. I'm walking through the store and they're talking shit. Just talking all kinds of shit, putting shit in my head and shit. Oh my God, Holy Spirit. You can't just stop in the middle of the aisle and have a full-on, conversation with them about how appropriate. You just move on. Like, do you have to be talking while I'm walking? But, again, let's disassociate and see where we're at. May the one who achieved enlightenment, who felt neither attraction nor hate for the countless armies of courtesans sent to tempt him by the Lord of this world, bring you peace, non-violence, attainment of Nirvana, detachment from worldly temptations, readiness and ability to pass knowledge on to others. Amen. So put my hands in prayer and honor him, bow to him. That's what it is. What is Nirvana? Peace. It looks different in all different ways. It's just peace. It's peace in your skin and in your situation and in what God is doing, no matter what is happening. People use drugs to hit that place, a place where of forget-me-nots, where it's just the world doesn't exist and everything's okay. You don't have to leave your mind. You can see the peace in it right now. Something as simplistic as how beautiful the weather is. That's so peaceful. You know what I mean? You get to see the Nirvana in life. You get to see the peace in life. I'm stuck here too, just like you, bro. But I get to see heaven on earth. Only in the context of my mind does it become a hellish place to live. And that's where you have to, work through the hell of your mind to get to, heaven on earth. That's just really it. Anything can do it. I can sit there and just have a really good meal and be like, damn, that was amazing. You know what I mean? Just see a flower, anything, and you can just really see the peace and beauty in the world we live in. There are lots of moments. And that's it. What do you do when you just stare? It's just peace, bro. You see everything and nothing. It's just peace. The quiet is peace. I don't know. It's a feeling inside of nothingness. But very full.
I forgot it.
Okay, bye-bye. Detachment from worldly temptations. I mean, I don't want it. So I guess that's detachment. And that's in the essence of it didn't come easy. You detach from these things and then you no longer want them. It's not like you don't want them. You just have to detach. Going back to, these journeys and shit, walking away from men. I wanted them with all my heart. I just have to do what's right and walk away and do the rehabilitation to detach. I detach my body, but you keep the memories in your heart. And that's why you got to keep not the wicked ones, but the good ones. You know what I mean? I posted that earlier. It's like, I have these cool pictures of my kids. We were going to go play on the go-karts. I was like, it was a great time to be a mom because I got to play dad. I was like, and you look back, it's like we had all kinds of stuff. We're not looking for the life we had. We're fighting for a life that we've never had. Things we've never done. Things we've never seen that we can't even see in our imagination. We could have never seen this coming, but we knew we always wanted to experience something like that. When I first got out of homelessness, my kids made this random wish list to the universe. My oldest daughter, she said, I want a house that has the pretty flowers in front of it. Those pretty pink flowers with a pretty flower tree. My little daughter, she had said, I want a house with a backyard in it, or with a playground in the backyard. Right? I said, I just wanted a house big enough with room for everybody. Everybody gets their own room. We got all of that. Our first house, we got a house in Montbello and it had the trees. They had a playground that was left in the backyard for the kids to play with. We had too many rooms. We had a room that was just empty. We always had extra room. Stuff like that. It's like you think about it and, God hears you and He answers those prayers. You don't have to go chasing your dreams. Not in that sense. You have to work towards them. Not even work. You have to take action. towards your dreams when you're guided to, that you don't have to chase and work and cry and, bleed and tears. You know what I mean? I'm seeing Lewis, because he's the last one I posted. Lewis saw that he was going to be a Formula One champion. All he had to do was take those actions. You look back at him and you can say that he struggled more than others. Well, he had different odds against him. But if you look at the whole lifestyle of what these boys go through, he went through the same actions as every boy that ever saw that vision. Do you know what I mean? And what he doesn't know is maybe, some of them saw the vision of beating Lewis Hamilton. And why is that so hard to believe, Lewis? They were little boys. They saw you, one day I'm going to beat him. They get to live out their dream as you live out yours. Everybody gets to live in this dream world. Yeah, it's hard work, but the work is just actions. You're just taking the action steps. You don't have to work hard at taking action when this is the right action for you. Readiness and an ability to pass knowledge on to others. That's what I am. I'm a student to be your teacher. I'm a student at life to teach you a different way of life. I am the testimony of the soul having the human experience. You guys are humans trying to access your soul's experience. You have one chapter. You still haven't made it through the first chapter of your life, but you have many chapters to go. And that's what it is. Every day is an experience. A soul who's never experienced life before. It still has the knowledge inside of the head. I'm not a baby, but just a soul having a human experience. It's quite interesting. Most of you say you are, but you don't see it from a soul perspective. You just tell yourself that. You tell that to drag your flesh through the day. And, going back to, all my old schools, they're not passing their knowledge on. Marshall's not passing the mic. If we wanted a better generation of rappers, why isn't he running, the Rap Olympics? Why isn't he training them? Why aren't they learning from the best? When Kobe retired, he went to go help the youth. You know what I mean? It was about passing it on, passing the legacy on to those that could, walk out your legacy. And that's what it is too. Pac, he grabbed the light and he used it to shine light on the world of the darkness he had come from, but use it as a light bearer to get those people in the dark out of the, into the light. You've experienced so much life. And this goes back to our 10-day forecast. This is about, writing your legacy. Writing it, does that mean it's over? Or does that mean you're going to pick up the pen and paper and start writing, taking this adventure, the never-ending story where it comes to life as you write it? It's just a vision in your head. They're just ideas in your head until you speak it into life. As a reminder, your hands and your arms are connected to your throat chakra. It's another way of communication and why I like to give you the finger all the time. throwing up gang signs over there, mantras and stuff like that. That's why it's like, give me some dap, high five, let me hug you. Those are ways of showing love. Wrapping your arms around somebody's body or throat are ways of expressing yourself. Use your words, not your actions. Sometimes you need to use your actions because actions speak louder than all that shit that's coming out your mouth right now. This is a good teaching. Again, I'm always full of shit to teach you. I was a student right there. I was like, wow, this is a big moment in time. When you look back, what do you have to show for these moments in time? You know what I mean? And that's it. It's like, I had this necklace. It was the most beautiful necklace you'll ever see. It was the most beautiful evil eye necklace I'd ever seen. I got it with all my necklaces and not all of my necklaces, but all of my witchcraft stuff down in Manitou. I wore it and I wore it and I wore it. And then one day, I was in my car. I was going to DIA. I was guided to take it off. I was going to hang it on my rearview mirror, but instead I put it back on. Like, I had it in my hand and I was about to put it up, and then I said no, and I put it back on, but I didn't latch it properly. And when I got out, I knew it was there, that it happened. Later on, I realized it was gone. It had fallen off my neck. And I look at this coincidence, right, and I'm like, if I just wouldn't have touched it, but I was guided to. I was guided to take it off. And what happened is I didn't put it somewhere safe, so I lost it. It's that simplistic, how fast you can, you know what I mean, take a loss and learn how to trust your intuition. Again, I was just guided to go over to Buddha's temple. But Buddha had a message, and it wasn't in that statue. But being in front of that statue would make more sense when I came home. And that's a lot of these things, you know, a lot of these things is like you just have an inner knowing. You don't know what it is, you have a vision, and you're going to take action towards that vision. The unknown. People want you to explain your actions, but you're acting out of a heart space and you don't know. You feel. Right? And that's what it means to be guided. There's an inner guidance. Something outside of you or inside of you, something beyond your knowing is guiding you. Right? And when I looked at it like that, I had looked at this as a, you know what I mean? This unbelievable holy fucking necklace that I had anointed through all of my journeys was going to be picked up by another woman and protect her in her journeys, whoever she was. No man was going to pick it up, and if he did, he would give it to his woman. And no matter where that necklace went, and it was too beautiful not to pick up, and there was nothing wrong with it, they would have picked it up. No matter where it went, that protection of them, I no longer needed it. It was to, you know, protect someone else. And that's what it is. It's like you gotta, you know, when you're ready for your new car, and I'm looking at all of you that have all these cars, it's like you want to move on to something new, but you don't want to let go of the old. I'm seeing Bobby. Jesus Christ. Not today, Satan. He wants to, you know, it's not like he wants to eat his cake, he have his cake and eat it too. It's that he's too afraid. He was too afraid to let go of the old to move on to the new. But he saw the new car. He rode the new car. He wanted the new car. All he had to do was let go of the old car and let it be somebody else's gift. And that's really what it is. If you get rid of your car, that's going to be somebody else's new car. And they're going to love it. And they're going to cherish it. And they're going to ride that shit till the wheels fall off. Because this is their new car. And that's that old saying. And forgive me when I'm referring to him and his relationship. It has nothing to do with it. I mean, perhaps. If the boot fits. One man's trash is another man's treasure. You guys look at me as such a treasure, but you want to know the truth, and that's what I had told Bobby. I'm two man's trash. I had two husbands that left me for dead. They considered me trash. They treated me like trash. I might be your treasure, but to them I was just trash. And that's where it is, you know what I mean? Especially as a I'm not widowed, but you know what I mean, as a single mother, you look at them as like baggage and shit, washed up and left over and this and that. And that goes back to that elderly card we were reading about and just the crone stage. It's like they didn't want me, but that doesn't mean that nobody wants me. And that's where you gotta look at it. Rejection. God's rejection is divine protection. Allie, whatever, I was thinking about you today. I was like, maybe I should ask Allie on a date. Maybe I gotta be the first one to take him on a date. I tried to before. I didn't have no money. I got some money now. But I feel like you still need to pay for the date. I was thinking about it. It's like maybe he just, you know, he needs someone safe to go on a date. Show him what a date is. Right? Someone that's not trying to have sex and just, you know, get him for a meal. Teach them. Yeah, since I said that earlier in my video and stuff like that, but he didn't want to close this chapter of his life to walk into the next chapter of his life. And so he has to stay in the old chapter of his life thinking about what his life could have been if he would have just took a ride in that car. Hey, dude, I just crashed that car last week. Me and my fucking... That goes back to, what is his name? Steve's Love Tarot. He's like, it's your new relationship, and you don't want... It's a brand new car, and you don't want to crash it. Dude, I want to ride this bitch into the sunset. With the music real high. Till the wheels come off. I mean... That's it. I want to maintain it. I want to take care of it. I'll do all the maintenance work to keep this thing going, but I want to get this thing going. I've been in the garage for a long time. It's really funny. These jokes. My Holy Spirit's and we're all masculine, and it's funny as fuck. So yeah, God bless America and Buddha. I don't know. Do you want to say something, Buddha? Other than that, let me get his book out. There's a Buddha. The Buddha has a book. It's a whole Bible. Really, it is. I'm just honoring what energy we're in. It's a hey. All the energies we travel. This is a good energy. It might not look so good tomorrow. All right, I'm just gonna turn to a page. What page? The Way of Practical Attainment. On page 296, chapter 2. Dang, we started directly in the shit. It says, search for truth. Well, I am a truth seeker. All right. In the search for truth, there are certain questions that are unimportant. What of the material is the universe constructed? Is the universe eternal? Are there limits or not to the universe? In that way, is the human society, in what way is the human society put together? I'm seeing the universe right there. Planets can't move, but you can. Predictability. He gave you free will. And it echoed through the universe of what that would look like. It was a mirrored effect. Imagine the creator of all things, just like you guys sitting around watching me all day. God, that's a terrible fucking mirror. You're waiting for him to say or do something. Right? So he decides to create something new. He creates the human race. The rat race of humanity. And the universe watches how this new race of being is. That's it. They just look to each other, right? All the realms. There's the 13th, there's the 12th, there's the 11th. So now we're looking down on the lowest level of humanity, and the lowest level of beings, which God puts on the highest fucking throne. And we're like, okay. And that's how the mirror effect goes into other realities. They mirror what you do. So they have this saying, as above, so below. What we do leaks into the other worlds. It's mirrored. Why? That's where it gets scary. Because you're mirrored. You're playing out here what you played out there. And you're playing it out everywhere. And that's that Mandela effect. How deep can I go with you on this? To the edge of the universe, bro, till your head explodes. I can take science to the very edge. I can take medicine. I can take religion. I can take you to the very edge. But guess what? It's infinite. There's no limit to knowledge and understanding. There's a limit to how much you can take in. So, I show you here, fuckheads, through my twin flames. We are reliving time. In this time. This is a mirror of time. You can say it's the past, but we're in the present. And if we don't change it, it is our future. It's a time loop. And that's how I can access my other selves. Because I'm currently living out some stupid-ass relationship here with Twin Flame X, right? Twin Flame X is from a timeline from the past. But not just here on Earth and other realities and realms. We've played this time over and over. We always play this every time. Every time. So this time, if you do something different this time, It changes all time, because time is reflected to the present time. That's why they always tell you to stay in the present, because the actions you take in the present can erase the past and change the future. How do you say that? It's not like it never happened. It's just that it doesn't matter. It's all important until you learn the lesson. You're all engulfed in it, in this part of time. You're going to stay in this lesson for all eternity. That's that hell on earth kind of shit, until you learn it. But after you learn it, that time ceases to exist. It's just a memory in space that disappears in the context of your mind, but in the context of reality too. It's washed away. Your sins, your footprint, your genetic, your energetic footprint throughout time. You're just walking in the footsteps of yourself. You always do this. You're not doing anything you never did before yet. You're reliving time. They're playing out in your relationships and shit. I can point out a stupid ass day relationship with one of these twin flames and show you that this is from ancient Egypt that we're playing right now. This is from Odin that we're playing right now. This is from, you know what I mean, from fucking Adam and Eve. This is from, I'm showing you how that reality is being played out in our reality with the fucking members. So I can travel to these other realities and see how it plays out. And that's what's creepy right now. All these videos, all these people are dropping all these videos talking about what I already went through. I just went through that last week. What are you talking about? Is it going to happen again? Are we on a repeat? Is it Groundhog's Day? They get another chance? I'll promise you, I already went through what they say that everyone's about to go through. Why? Because I'm ahead of time. I'm the goddess. Goddess is the existence of time. I tell you all the time, time only exists here. Divine timing is the timing of everything when it aligns. Right? How do we align it? The wheel of life, losers. I just shared that. This is the same fucking June 24th. There's still going to be the rainbow in the sky at the same June 24th, 5 years later. If I would have took a picture of the sky, took a picture of the weather every year until now, we would have seen we would have seen the synchronicities and the patterns. But we're only starting to see past our own thoughts, the patterns and what's going on around us, which is time being replayed. It's a fucking wheel. We have to break the fucking chains of time by doing something different this time. Pretty much is how that works. All right. What is the ideal form of organization for human society? If a human were to postpone his searching and practicing for enlightenment until such questions were solved, would he die before he found the path? Wow, lots of questions, huh? That's like me. I got questions. Suppose a man were pierced by a poisonous arrow, and his relatives and friends got together to call a surgeon to have the arrow pulled out and the wound treated. If the wounded man objects, saying, "Wait a little, before you pull it out, I want to know who shot this arrow. Was it a man or woman? Was it someone of the noble birth? Was it a peasant? Was the bow made of? What was the bow made of? Was it a big bow or a small bow that shot the arrow?" That sounds good. Was it made of wood or bamboo? It goes on and on and on. What feathers were used before you extract the arrow? I want to know all about these things. Then what would happen? Before all the information can be secured, no doubt, the poison will have to have time to circulate through all of the system and the man may die. The first duty is to remove the arrow and prevent its poison from spreading. When a fire of passion is endangering the world, the position of the universe matters little. What is the ideal form for the human community is not so important to deal with. The question of whether the universe has limits or is eternal can wait until some way is found to extinguish the fires of birth, old age, sickness, and death. In the presence of misery, sorrow, suffering, and agony, one should first search for a way to solve these problems and devote oneself to the practice of that way. That's it. You're trying to, I heard micromanage. You can't take on all the, all of the questions of the world, but you can make an impact in the world, is what I'm hearing out of this. The Buddha teachings contain what is important to know, not what is unimportant. That is, it teaches people that they must learn what they should learn, remove what they should remove, train for what they should become enlightened about. Therefore, people should first discern what is the most important, what problems should we solve first, and what is the most pressing issue for them. To do all this, they must first undertake to train their minds. That is, they must first seek mind control. And that's it, like, crashing my boat over there, or my car, or whatever. I had to discern what's most important, what problem should be solved first, and what is the most pressing issue for us. To do this, I had to go through my mind. And that's why I said I'm all in my mind with you. And I can't figure this out. At this, they must first seek mind control. Number 2, suppose a man goes into the forest to get some... Dude, why do all of you do this? I do it too. God damn it. Why do you make us do this? With all the extra stories, we have to give you an explanation. We have to give you a visual. We have to give you a testimony. Let me tell you about this guy. Let me bring this into context with you. I do it all day. That's what makes my videos so damn long. I'm just bitching because I gotta read somebody else's bitching. Alright, anyways. That's what it's talking about. Don't ask the dumb questions. Ask the real questions. The most important questions. The most pressing. Don't dance around the truth. Is what this is. Don't dance around the truth. Get to the fucking meat and potatoes of it. What the fuck are we doing here? And that's it. What's most important? What's pressing? What is it? If I'm standing there as a colonel, I'm standing there, the Queen of Wands, I'm standing there with all of the blueprints I have, all of those spirit guides, we're looking down on Earth, we're watching this whole thing play, and you're like, excuse me, yes, and it's like, get to the point. And that's, I'm really to the point about it. It's like, what are we talking about? Like, what'd you come here for? Did you want to marry me? You want to fuck me? What do you want? Get to the point. What is this going to take? What do you want from me? You're like, damn, you're so harsh. I mean, I'm to the point. Let's just get to the point. And then we could talk about all the little shit along the way. Let's get to the big shit. What's the problem? We got a problem? What's the problem? What are we here for? Why are you in my face? What do you got to say? Speak up! Speak up! That's me. Fucking go away then. Everybody's talking right now and you don't got shit to say? Get the fuck out of my face. I don't mean to be ugly, but that's where it is in my position. It's like, you've got my attention fully, now say something. What are you here for? Make your intentions known. Just tell me what's up. I came for a blowjob. Really though? Is that it? I can just give you one and go? I need to practice. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, be real. Oh, she's gonna laugh. I probably am. I laugh at everything. And can we move on past the laugh? Can you accept the laugh? Are you coming at me with a joke? Or is just I'm gonna laugh at you because I laugh at everybody? Is the shit you're talking about funny? Or I'm just funny? In the sense of, get to the point. That's all I'm saying. Another man, becoming satisfied with the progress he has made by little effort, relaxes in his effort and becomes proud and conceited. He is carrying away only a load of branches instead of the pitch he was seeking. Still another man finds his mind is becoming calmer and his thoughts clearer. He too relaxes his effort and becomes proud and conceited. He has a burden of the bark instead of the pitch he was looking for. Then again, another man becomes proud and conceited because he notices that he has gained a measure of intuitive sight, and he has a load of woody fiber of the tree instead of the pitch. I see Wolfman with that. All of these seekers who become easily satisfied by their insufficient effort and become proud and overbearing. I'm seeing Mike Stud. He wants to tell you how much spirituality has changed him and how he's got it all figured out. Relax their efforts and easily fall into their idleness. And that's it. American idols out here. All these people will inevitably face suffering again. And that's it. He built himself up just to make himself be torn back down. And that's Lewis. Idols. Your car is idling. Anyways, those who seek true path of enlightenment must not expect any offer of respect, honor, or devotion. Yeah, it's just, dude, you better... Did you hear what Wolfman said to me? They're very disrespectful. Your path to enlightenment, you're going to face literally like sticks and stones. They're going to fucking make you carry a cross. They're going to humiliate you. They're going to talk about you. They're going to fucking throw mud in your fucking face, bro. For everyone to see. They are going to tell everybody about your fall. Your fall is your rise. And that's it. You know, if you want to go and just, you know, give up all of your material belongings and run to a temple and wear fucking rags, all power to you. But me, I believe you have to have an ego if you want to be successful in this life. If you want to be powerful. But that's just me. Alright, Igor. You don't even have the mentality to even take that shit off and walk with God. To take the pride, to take your life and give it to God, bro. You have no idea what that means. You don't know the fear that that means to give everything up and know that you're not going to get it back unless God gives it to you. You've lost too much time. You have to depend on Him. And it's not even about it, dude. It's because you know this is what... I didn't have this book. The book was written in my heart, bro. This is what I had to do. But you're not called to be a yogini. You're not called to be a priest or a priestess, a magician. You're not called to be an emperor or a king and stand tall for the fucking common people. You're just a commoner. But yeah, and then you got Bobby that comes out and it's like, as long as you put down, you know, we could have a good time if you just put down the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. All I have is these cards, bro. And they give me no power, but you're gonna make it seem powerless. You know what I mean? You're gonna make fun of my Bibles, my preachings, my teachings, my way of life. Because you ain't never seen nobody live like this before. I did appreciate that, Wolfman, because when he came back with that, dude, I did send your picture to... I sent your video straight to him. It's like, I'm not alone, dude. There's dudes that do this, too. And he's not even half as good as me. There's nobody like me, and you're fucking making fun of me because I'm like nobody else, because I won't be like anybody else. God didn't make me like you, and thank God for that, because all of you are just a damned race. Locked in a material fucking race of your mind. Gods. It wasn't easy. And I have all the memories of what I gave up. But I don't regret it. None of that made me powerful. Giving it up is what made me fucking powerful. Admired, respected, praised. You could never. The very thought of it makes you tremble. If you were to lose your backpacks, your phones, your fucking friends, your cars, your houses, the very thought of it would send you into a fucking desperation where you would do the most evil things to retrieve it. You would never just give it to God crying, "Here, God." As I said that, I was guided to take off my necklace, which I never take off. I don't know why. I never take off my triple goddess necklace. Never? No, not unless I'm taking a nap. Sometimes even when baths, I don't take it off. That's why I gotta wash it so much. It's metal. It's fucking silver. Just wash it with fucking toothpaste. To be, you know what I mean? To be one with God and any God you want to serve, and that's why people turn away from God, is it calls for sacrifice. It calls for discipline. You don't want to make your sacrifices and you don't have any kind of discipline, not self-discipline. It's acting in authority and respect for authority. And you don't have any or respect any. You're trying to demand authority. Anyways, I just want to say that it's like, it's not a good look. I mean, it doesn't look good to those outside, but it's pleasing to God. You know what I mean? There's the silo himself. His whole community would never know that a woman has been through this. And a Western woman, a witch, has been through the sacred rites and rituals that has full enlightenment. It drives them into complete curiosity. How? When she doesn't even have the cultural understanding. How? When nobody guided her. How? The chief says, how? They have a lot of questions. Come here, I'm the bearer of all answers. Moving on. Let's see. Where were we? Those who seek true path of enlightenment do not expect an offer or respect or honor or devotion. And further, they must not aim with a slight effort at a trifling advance in calmness or knowledge or insight, meaning that you think you know it all or you've got to that level. There's no full level of attainment. You can't even hold the whole universe in you, but you try. First of all, one should get clearly in the mind the basics and essential nature of this world of life and death. Facts of life, guys. Here we are. The world has no substance of its own. It is simply a vast concordance of cause and condition that have had their origin solely and exclusively in the activities of the mind that has been stimulated by ignorance, false imagination, desire, and infatuation. It is not something eternal, but which the mind has false conceptions. It has no substance whatsoever. It has come into appearance by the processing of minds itself, manifesting its own delusion. It's the Matrix. Yeah, I know there's buildings out there, but it's not real. Do you want an example? Go into an old town that's been deserted and watch the reality play in your head. Watch, you can see it's still alive, but it's not. You said it had life just because of the buildings that were there. But if you take away those buildings, it had life before that. It's in the context of your mind. You're like, this is my house. It's not. You don't, even if you own the house, you don't own the land. You're not the first owner of this house, right? And you 99% of the time you will not just die in that house. You don't own it because you don't possess it. When you die, it will be passed on. It's not real, any of it. It's Roblox, right? It's fucking Sims. You built this out of your mind. You came up with an idea of your mind and you built the buildings. You know what I mean? It's as real as you want it to be and as real as you can paint it to other people, but it's not real. You guys see the way you live life as a real way of life. Why? Because everybody else lives like you. So you look at someone like me that doesn't live like you, that's outside of the Matrix, and you're saying, I don't have a life, that I'm a low life, that my life has no purpose and it has no meaning, and that I've wasted my life. That's just your projection of yourself. If you were me, that's how you would see yourself. But that's not who I am. I'm a guru. I'm a priestess. I am fulfilling my role. Do you know a priestess that has a job and that goes to malls and clubs and hangs out with people? Do you know a guru that, you know what I mean, that's cruising the streets and making friends, that isn't out doing offerings and tending to the temples? It's not a title I wear on YouTube. It's the armor of God I wear everywhere. But you say that this is not a life. But there are many ancients that lived this life. And I waken the dead by showing you the old ways of life and make it a new way of life, which it isn't. What I'm doing has never been seen by your time, but played out over in time. We always had to do this in time. Now you put on my location, which is America. You put on my skin, which is white, and feminine, and now I also have no power, no knowledge, no wisdom, no connection to the divine, because I'm not part of the divine lands. I'm not Jewish, I'm not Hindu, I'm not nothing. I'm not worthy. All based on what? Your mind. Your mind tells you who I am, and it tells you not just who I am, but everything else. You build up these constructs in your mind, and that's where we got to go down and break all this bullshit out. You were living a lie. You told yourself a lie. You told yourself that this relationship was something that, now that you step back, you realize it was never going to work. That wasn't true. Why did I believe that? The constructs of your mind. You were living in your thoughts. Your mind painted it out to something that it never was. It's a dangerous place in there. But it's also useful because you can use that construction to create better things. But they have to be real. In essence, going back to my rappers and their creativity, they're using the constructs of their mind to create something that everybody else creates, thinking that they're authentic and it's new. They're keeping up with everyone else. They're not, the thoughts in their mind are the same thoughts of everybody else in that low vibrational way of thinking. The words that come out are the same words. That's it. They're working through the same feelings, the same words, doing the same jobs as everyone else, and they want you to think they're so authentic. How are you set apart or special when I see you as in the masses? Marshall really thinks that he's above the masses because he's louder. But the longer time goes, the more, and that goes back to Lewis. You know what I mean? Lewis thought he was the biggest in time, but the more time goes, the more time is on other people's side and no longer on yours. Alright, you had this many fucking plaques, but everybody else is on their way to getting that many plaques too. So how does that make you better than them? I think, to be honest, Kanye has more Grammys than you, Marshall. Based on that, on the material foundation of what you've created, does that mean he's a better rapper than you? And I'm pretty sure Drake has more than all of you. No, just kidding. Is he better than you? Or all of you compete for that little prize at the end of this? Does it make you feel more powerful? Kendrick got to do Super Bowl 2024, so now he's powerful. Really? Because Prince did it. Marshall did it. Many have done it before you. Your job is to live up to them. You're not going to do it any better. It never gets any better. Why? Because it's the fucking Super Bowl. There's nothing authentic about this. It's a religious ceremony that's traditional. Same old shit. Who does it this year? Who are they having do it this year? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Oh, it's a new year. New year. Who cares? In the essence, it's like you just want to be a part. You want to be part of the construct. It doesn't make you any better. It doesn't set you apart. It just means in your own mind you hit a new level. And that's Russ right now. This is all in his mind, bro. He thinks that this thing worked and he hit a new level because everybody's talking about it. How many more albums did you sell since you did this? Your subscribers haven't gone up on any of your channels. So how is there a gain in this when you lost? You spent all that money. That's an investment. What did you get back? A bunch of people talking about you? You did all this to be talked about? Again, trying to be part of the conversation. At what cost? To say that you were inventive, that you did something that nobody else did. But why did you do it if there was no gain to it? Just to say you did it. But you've already did it before. You did an authentic first time ever listening experience with your fucking peoples last year. You tried to redo it and do it better. And now you want praises for what you've already done. And that's Lewis and Marshall and every one of you that are living in the past. You want another fucking stripe on your back. You will need another from who? You need another pat on the back That's all you're looking for, is a pat on the back, a nod of approval from somebody. But it's all in your mind. All of it. That goes back to your so-called happiness. Damn, they hit me hard in my guts with that one. My hands are in prayer right here. I don't have to see myself in a house and in a future with you for me to be happy. I don't see work. I don't see it. It's going to take all this, and this is when we're happy. When we have this house, and when we're traveling, and this picture of us on the beach, and our wedding night, and all that. That's all in your mind, dude. That's imagery of your mind that you're projecting into your future because you've seen it on TV. And you want what you've seen. You covet that which you've seen. I just want what I feel. What does happiness look to you? I feel happy with you. Why can't I just be with you and let the happiness grow? Why do we have to grow into a place of happiness? Why do we have to work at happiness? Why can't we be happy, and when things aren't happy, we work at that? That's how I looked at the relationship and how I look at life. It's a construct of your mind, bro. And that's why you guys always want to say I'm crazy. Yeah, because I'm out. I don't think like you guys. But I did. And that's where the compassion comes from. I was once like you. Until God lit my ass up and I became enlightened. Why is this not? Oh my God. For a whole hour I had my phone on the charger, but it was never on the charger. Enlightenment is a higher perspective, a higher understanding. You can't get any higher. You can't stop seeing things better from a better perspective. And it all starts with your mind. And you have to work through your thoughts and your feelings. This is how it all starts, dude. How did you get there? I don't know where Sangaru got there, but that's how I got there. Let's see. False imaginations, conceptions, whatever. It has come to appearance by the process of the mind itself, manifesting its own delusion, meaning you had an idea and you made it real. It is founded and built up by the desires of the mind, right? So you saw this person, you went on a date on this person, and then you saw this relationship, so you built this relationship. And then you saw this wedding, so you made the wedding to your specification. It was all what you saw in your mind. And that's where, creativity comes from. You're one creative bastard there. You've created a whole lifestyle of madness for yourself. It is founded and built up out of the desires of the mind, out of its suffering and struggle, incidental to the pain caused by its own greed, anger, and foolishness. Men who seek the way of enlightenment should be ready to fight such a mind to attain their goal. And that's what I mean, self-control. You have to tell yourself no, wolf man. And you're powerless to a pussy, to a pretty face. I think the girls you're chasing aren't shit compared to this. I'm a fucking hourglass girl, and they typically in America build girls like this. It's all about being thick, having big ass and thighs and tits, and you're out there with these super fucking, stick figure girls. And so I'm very confused if you could even handle a chick like me. And it's funny because it doesn't give you status. Those are just your type of girl. Why is that your type? Because it's what you feel most comfortable with. Why do you feel most comfortable? Because they don't reject you. We stay in our fucking lane. And that's what it is. It's like, you're not going to go talk to Lewis. If Lewis was my man, I would have no worries about bitches trying to approach him. Because they'd be too insecure. And if they did, that's up to a whole nother situation. Actually, I don't want to get into the mindset of those type of bitches. But in the essence, it's like, you stay in your lane. I would never talk to a girl like that. Yeah. Stay comfortable with the low-life girls. You stay with those hood rats. You stay with your baby mama. You stay with the past. You know what I mean? Royce. He can't get a bad one. He got one, and he thinks it's bad. I got me a bad bitch. Bitch, you got the same bitch you done had. The only bitch that would deal with your ass. Now you're stuck with that bitch. You are so stuck with her. You've been fucking the same bitch for fucking 40 years saying you're in love. If you was in love, you wouldn't have been cheating on her to begin with. Oh, we want to forget about that. All's forgiven in love and war, and you don't think about the good old times of putting your dick in someone else's pussy? How it felt? Deny your desires. That's fine. And go watch porn in the other room, jerking off on your phone on Pornhub. That's fine. But don't tell us you're in a happy marriage when you're lying, Will Smith. Tell us you have a happy fucking family, the Smiths. You all come out all fucking weird and deranged, having weird fucking partnerships and shit in that house. Boo-hoo childhood trauma. Your fucked up dad and your fucked up mama taught you this shit? What happened? Will Smith, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Jesus Christ. Were you playing a game? Were you playing a role as a teenager, or this was always meant to be your role? To play bitch to Jada Pinkett. Do you realize that, Will Smith? Have you ever put that on? That you were her bitch. She humiliated you and used you. And you're a loyal bitch. She brought other men in and everything else.
There's a bunch of red stuff on them.
I don't know. It could have been it could have been what I put in the bath, the Persephone stuff. I didn't.
Allergic to it.
You could. It had a bunch of herbs and shit in there. It was all kinds of crazy shit. Well, I don't know. Pray to God. Shit. Going back to it, it's all a construct of your mind. You know what I mean? Going back to Will, he thought he was doing the right thing, and his wife loved him, and this is how a marriage should be. In what household? Oh, well, that's what she says. This is how a good, but we'll just break down our boundaries and accept nonsense to keep this together, because we're going to stay together, because this is what we're going to do. We will work this out. Bro, you're fucking older than me. Jesus, bro. Jesus. He'll take those terrible wounded patterns into his next relationship and be some woman's bitch. I told him to hook up with Cardi B. I told him that would be a good thing, those two together. That was before she actually got divorced and shit. I thought those two would be great together. Why? I don't know. The Holy Spirit put them together in my mind. The illusions. I think they would have a great time. Anyways, going back to it, it's like, you thought, that's what you thought, and you have to change your way of thinking. You're devastated by the way you thought and the truth, and whatever, the truth shall set you free. Move on. Move on. I saw something, Kobe's wife. There's all this stuff talking about Kobe's wife is pregnant. Is that a sin against Kobe? Is that a sin against the life they had together? For her to move on and be loved again? And for a man to come in and raise his children for him? Is this a sin against Kobe? Or does Kobe not want her to be loved? And you know what I mean? Isn't there in her quiet spaces when she's alone? Does he not want her? And that's what true unconditional love is there's no condition to this. I want you to be loved. I want you to be happy. I want someone there to take care of my children. Whatever. It could just be gossip. But if it is, it is. And that's okay. It's okay to move on. She wasn't going to have a future if she didn't let Kobe go. Her whole life died with Kobe if she didn't let him go and start living again. And she was a wonderful, loving woman. She loved the shit out of her man. It's an honor for her to go love another man and to be loved too. She was very strong for all these years. She had to be strong for, you know what I mean? And, she deserves another good love. If she, you know what I mean? She was a good woman. She didn't have to stop being a good woman when her man died. But in essence, that goes back to our teaching. She's a widow. Off limits. You know what I mean? A single mother. Very different concept. You gonna come in and raise Kobe's children? Are you guys gonna go in and raise Kanye's children? It doesn't mean Kim doesn't need a good man to come in and play dad. Are you too intimidated to be that man? Obviously, fucking Big Dick Davison was. He just wanted to give her the D, which she probably needed too. That made her feel good to have, be loved again, to be, to feel special, to be needed, to be, when your partner leaves, they reject you. You feel unloved. You sit there like, what's wrong with me? Why wasn't I good enough for Kanye? Why doesn't, you know what I mean? Why doesn't my husband want me? And Davison came in and showed her that she is desirable and she is beautiful, even with all those kids. And he didn't care who her baby daddy was. He wanted to show her love. But he couldn't be what she wanted him to be, and that's okay too. You know what I mean? She needed that cougar experience. That's what I heard. Sorry, no disrespect, Kanye, but you know what I mean? You ended up with what? Because what? You needed love. You ended up with a copycat of your wife. How do you think that made your wife feel, bro? Yeah, I'm talking about your current wife. I don't look at her as your current wife. She's just your current placemat. You're really just stepping all over that girl. And, it's just constructs of your mind, dude. And this is where it starts back. Bobby thinks that he's doing the right thing by being in an unloving relationship. He thinks that if he leaves it, he's a bad man. And he's not the only one. NF, man. God, he's got a shit-ass relationship. Really sucks to be him. It sucks for him to live in his skin. But he can't go against God or what he thinks God wants from him because of, according to that. Dude, you married an ungodly woman. What the fuck did you think? You were going to have a godly union? Oh, God. Oh, God. And that's just it. What happened to you guys? God sent you a partner, dude. A karmic partner in your lowest. You can go no further with them. They'll keep you in your lowest. It's really the truth. They were perfect until you started to evolve. Until you started to change. And now you don't align with them. And now it's difficult. Because all these years you were in alignment and now you're not. It's not your fault. It just means that you're evolving. I filed for divorce. I had to do it all by myself. I just had to give myself a chance to be free. There was no point in staying married to a person, walking around saying I was married when I didn't have a man. So I let go of the idea of what it was. And then I realized it was never that. He wasn't a husband. But us getting married supposedly made him my husband. No, bro, nothing is going to make that dude a husband. Why? Because he just doesn't know what it takes. He's never seen a real husband in action. He's just seen a lot of men come and fuck his mom and leave her. So that's what he does. Anyways, I'm going to stop right there because that's really deep, but it's all in your mind. Your mind is, it's a compilation of images that you've put into it, and it creates desires based on those images of likes and dislikes, fears, wants, you know what I mean, all of that stuff. So then it designs your way of life for you, and that's where everybody lives in this alternate reality of their mind. We all see something, but we all see it through our own mind's eye, based on the information we've been given in our life is based on the perception of what we're seeing. And that's where I show you a different view. But everybody's views are kind of important because they're coming from the context of this person's experience and mind. Great minds is what I heard. And that's that saying is, great minds think alike. That's the conscious, that's the mass conscious. That's those low vibrational readings, bro. Look at them. Look at the fucking, it's almost scary. This is a terrible thing to do, but Mermaid Prophetess is a tarot reader. Hella ghetto. She's got over 250,000 fucking people that listen to her. I want you to, this is just an experiment, guys. And I was in that vibration with her. Very ghetto, very low vibrational in my way of thinking. I vibed with her. Now, I want you to go watch just a few minutes, as much as you can take of one of her videos, but I want you to read the comments as you're watching. See how many people are in that mindset, and they're literally playing out the narrative of what she says is happening based on these cards. It's a whole mass consciousness that thinks that way, and so because they think alike, they're having like experiences. their brain is creating the same experience. I tried to explain this with the paranoid schizophrenics. If we put them, they're all spread out around the world, but if we put them all together and ask them what they saw, you would see that they're all in the same state of mind. They are in the same reality. They are all seeing it only from their eyes, and they think they're the only ones seeing it, but all of them are in the same state of mind, meaning their mind is creating, they can tell each other that they can see each other's imaginations, if you will, delusions or hallucinations, but they're not. It's a real reality of a mindset. The vibrations of your mind. Like attracts like. There are so many people like you that think like you because they've had experiences like you, and their mind comes up with the same shit. They're literally living their life just like you because their brain is programmed like you. When you change your brain, the programming of your mind, you start thinking like other people. You start acting like other people. You start dressing like other people. And it's an elevation of, the consciousnesses. And that's what Maslow said. Everybody starts out with the basic mind and basic needs. And then you can elevate past those ways of thinking to someone like me who I'm not in the mind, I just access through it. It turns on. I'm not of the mind. I'm the subconscious, working through the conscious mind. That's it. You guys are conscious, trying to access your subconscious through the conscious mind. I know. Earlier I was telling you about dead people, now I'm telling you all about the inner workings of your mind. I'm telling you, it's all connected. It really is. Hey, Jesus Christ, thanks Buddha, we went deep, and you broke my necklace. I love you guys. I don't know if we're going to have another teaching. That one was pretty deep. I don't know where that came from. I lied. Do you know who Kuan Yin is? She's the female counterpart to Buddha. Buddha had a female form. It was Kuan Yin. That was me. Do I know all of it? No. The only thing I'm interested in is the trials I went through to become enlightened. Or was I enlightened? I don't know all my past history. I only see I can only work through so many levels of, my realities. I could, but it's like I'm leaving the context of my realities to access a non-necessary reality. If I need to know it, it's a need. And I could read it, but I don't have time for that. That's putting in old information. That's what it is. It's like, do you ever just read about yourself? No. I experience myself. I don't read it in a book. I live it in life. And that's what makes it so monumental to those that studied Isis, Morgan, Lilith, Hecate, Medusa, Kuan Yin, Kali. They see that I didn't invocate them, that I am them. And that's why it's like, how did I become Kuan Yin out of all this darkness? When all I can see is all my dark lives. How was I Kuan Yin? And it doesn't matter, because I finished that life in the light, to carry that light into these dark lives. It was that promise. And again, that's the mirror. That's my connection. So, how do you know Buddha? We go way back. How back? Way back. Way back. Ascending Master Kuan Yin, Isis, all of that. All we're doing right now is ascending the Lilith and all the dark aspects that came out of the Lilith. Kali wasn't a dark aspect. I just want you to know that. We're just incorporating it. She was made to be such beautifulness, destruction. And that will be called. I will be called again. Not to eat blood and shit like that. I can still taste it. Anyways, love yous. Laters. Bye.